Hi guys, welcome back to TR's Tarot Talk 1111. My name is Tracy. If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you really love it here. I hope my messages resonate with you. I do use pronouns he and she. This is a relationship reading for the zodiac sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I know that I read energy. I am an energy reader and a direct channeler. I use the tarot to inspire the channeling, but I read the energy more than the cards. So sometimes if you know what tarot is, maybe the message that comes through doesn't, match what you believe the tarot means. But again, I have my own style, my own way of reading. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for being here. You guys are the spine of this channel. Most of you have stuck around through thick and thin. It's been quite a journey the last couple of, for about a year and a half now. And so thank you for returning. If you're a new viewer and you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check the wiggly bell for all content if you want to know when I upload. And drop us a comment so we know you're here and that you're new and we can welcome you. If you'd like this is a collective reading, so I will be reading more than one person's energy. I will tell whatever stories come through the cards that Spirit inspires me to tell. There will be probably more than one, but you'll know if the story is yours. One of those timelines will fit. If it doesn't, then go check out your moon, your rising, your Venus, or your cross watch or your person sign. It is a relationship reading. It's not for singles. This is for somebody on your heart and mind. If you don't have somebody on your heart and mind, then it's probably not your reading. Unless for some reason Spirit really motivated to bring you here, then there's going to be something here that you need to hear. All right, did I get everything in there? If you'd like to book a personal private reading, everything you need is in the description box below. My Patreon, my wish list. You can get a free mini reading if you send something off of my Amazon wish list. I have journals published on Amazon. There's a lot of content down in that description box. So I am now doing the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. All cross watchers are welcome also. I do occasionally read from the cross watcher's point of view if I feel that's where I'm coming from. Again, I am an energy reader. Okay, so we're going to get into it. How I'm going to do this reading today is I'm going to do the past, the present, and the future. It's kind of like an energy check-in, so that you can, if the story is yours, then you know you've got the right reading. If the storyline, the past, present, and future storyline doesn't resonate with you, then again, go check your other placements or contact me for a personal reading. So past, present, future, then we're going to use another deck. Well, I'll clarify those. And then we're going to use another deck to do your person's thoughts about you, feelings about you, intentions towards you, possible next action. Remember that I read energy, so energies can shift. So the outcome isn't always what the energy is today. That's why I do monthlies, or will be doing monthlies. So is there anything else I need to say in this intro? Oh, I will be stick around to the end of the video. I'll be getting messages from your person to you. And then I'll get advice for you from Spirit when it comes to you and your person. All right. That's a lot of info to cram into a little beginning. All right. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Dear Mother, Father, God, please come into this space and bless it. Make it holy ground. Surround us in the white light of love and protection. Cast my ego to the outside so I can be a clear channel for Spirit messages for my viewers, and cast my viewers' egos to the outside of the circle so they can be clear receivers of Spirit messages And we ask that it be, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, past energy for Capricorn in the month of May. Present energy. Oh, I like that. Well, maybe I don't. Present energy. Future potential actions. Or at least story. Okay, bottom of the deck is the 8 of Swords. Let me make sure everything's in view in the camera. And we're good. I'm working with natural lighting. So hopefully you can see. Some days there's sun all over my table and some days there's not. I actually prefer it this way without the sun because it comes through the blinds even though they're closed and makes stripes on my table. All right, so in the past there was a choice that needed to be made. I mean, we've got 2 choice cards here, but somebody made that choice. Somebody got clarity. Somebody went from 2 of Swords to the Ace of Swords. They, 2 of Swords is I don't know what to do. I'm contemplating. I'm sitting here. I'm kind of fearful of making the wrong choice. I feel blinded. I can't really see the best. Which one is the best? And then we've got the Lovers. So of course it's a relationship reading. So it's, do I choose this love? Is this love what I choose? And then somebody got clarity. Somebody made that choice. And until I clarify, I really don't know what choice they made. But there was a decision that was absolutely concretely probably talked about or decided upon. And sometimes the Ace of Swords for me is, it can be used to cut cords. It can be used to cut through the bull crap. It's truth, it's honesty, it's an epiphany, it's clarity. So we'll take a look at what that means. It's also an ace. Ace is about new beginnings. It's a decision that creates a new energy. In the now moment, we've got this 10 of Cups. I really like the 10 of Cups, but it comes with the 10 of Wands. And so this is heavy energy when you get the 10 of Wands. 10s are about endings. This is a happy ending, and this is the end of burdens. The 7 of Pentacles is a waiting card. It's we've already planted the seeds. We've already done some of the legwork. We've invested. Okay, could be literal money investment, but we're back with the bottom of the deck. We're back here with this person with the blindfold on again, or you if you're a cross watcher, but somebody feels stuck. And then we've got the 9 of Pentacles, and she has been showing up in almost every zodiac. And I'm not sure, I haven't yet figured out the connection, but I do believe there's a connection with Venus moving out of Pisces and into Aries. And so, Aries is about self. It's about independence. It's about, what do I want? What do I need? How do I create it? It's decision making and action oriented. So I think the reason why we keep getting the 9 of Pentacles in almost every single zodiac reading that I've done so far has to do with planetary alignments. It's a universal energy that everybody is kind of experiencing in their relationships, because Venus is the divine feminine, according to some astrologers. Others believe it's Vesta, I think is the name. It's an asteroid. It depends, I guess, on what kind of astrology you're into. But I do believe that there is an awful lot in the collective now about really trying to make clear, concise decisions, based on past experiences, based on healing past experiences. And so it does seem to be showing up in the collective. But I see in the future that somebody has put a lot of work in on themselves. They're taking care of their business, their health, their financial situation. They've freed themselves from any kind of codependency. It's like I can do this with, without, or in spite of anybody else. Then we've got a king and queen here, masculine, feminine energy. Remember, I'm using he and she pronouns, but it's just energy. So again, you have to place the energy on whomever it's best suited for. But the King of Swords is somebody who's logical, maybe even borderline cool. I don't want to say cold, because in the light attribute, they're just smart. They do things logically. They think things through. They speak their truth. They have a very high integrity, and hold themselves to a high standard, hold others to a high standard. In the shadow attribute, they can be cold and calculating. They can be a bit standoffish and my way or the highway, a bit stubborn. Not as stubborn as the King of Wands in the shadow attribute, but pretty. This is somebody who doesn't allow their emotions to dictate their decisions. Then we've got this Queen of Cups. This is feminine energy. And Queen of Cups for me is, in her light attribute, she is highly sensitive, empathic, very psychic. She knows what she knows. She may not know why she knows it, but she can feel it because it's about emotions. She's very loving and nurturing and motherly. In her shadow attribute, she can be codependent and needy. She can be a chaser. She can be an overgiver. Really, so far, your storyline isn't telling me a whole lot about your story, other than in the past, a decision was made. And in the now moment, it feels like somebody in this situation it's out of balance. When I see the Ten of Wands, I feel like, somebody's carrying the whole shebang, the whole load. And so it's kind of like maybe you're in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, because it kind of feels like somebody chose, maybe they did choose to enter into this relationship with the Lover's card. Again, I'll clarify. It's a collective reading, so some of you chose the relationship, some of you didn't. But in the now moment, it kind of feels like it's out of balance. If you are in a relationship, somebody here really wants this Ten of Cups, and they're working too hard for it. They're like the only glue that holds the whole damn thing together. They're the one doing all the work. They're the one carrying all the responsibilities, and they're kind of looking at their investment. Like, it's like there's hope here. Sorry, hold on. There's something going by. Four-wheeler going by. Kind of feels like somebody is putting in all this work for this Ten of Cups. Maybe the other person isn't. Or maybe they are, but, sometimes our filters, we feel like we're the only one trying. But whoever this Ten of Wands is hoping that all the investment and all the energy and all the burden is going to pay off. They're hoping it will pay off because they want to experience this Ten of Cups. And it could be that, you know, there is 10 cups, because we can be very happy when we kind of make things happy. Like, you know, let me give an example. Let's say, well, what is an example I want to use? So let's say that you are an overgiver, you know, so, you know, you do everything the other person asks you to do. If they want you to do their taxes, you do their taxes. If they want you to watch their dog, you watch their dog. If they want you to give them rides, you give them rides. If they want a back rub, you give them a back rub or a foot rub. And it's like you're constantly kind of in service to the other person, which does create a false feeling of happiness. But it also eventually, because it's out of balance, if the other person isn't pouring back into the relationship, if they're not doing the same thing for the other person, if they're just taking, and throwing more work at the person willing to do the work, then it becomes out of balance. And even though there's a 10 of Cups energy of, but we're happy, well, we're happy because one person is kind of making it easy, and the other person is making it hard for the person who's making it easy. Then we get the 7 of Pentacles. This person who's putting all this work in is looking at it as if to say, when will the energy balance out? When will I get what I want out of this relationship? When will this 10 of Cups feel like it's grounded and real, and I'm actually having the experience too, not just creating the experience? So then in the future, we've got somebody who felt stuck. Oh, and we've got some loss and regret. I don't want to go too far under the deck because I'm going to clarify. But there could be somebody in this situation who is a real giver, and they're feeling a bit stuck and maybe regretting the decision they made to get into this relationship. And so in the future, they might just they might be looking at ending it. I mean, because we do, 10s are endings. It's like they've been burdened for too long and they want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be free. I feel stuck. I want to be free. I want to be able to do what I like to do, you know, experience the happiness I want to experience, and not just always create it for this other person. And then we've got this King of Swords who, again, in his shadow attribute, can be a little bit unemotional, a little bit cold, a little bit sometimes stubborn and set in their ways. We've got this Queen of Cups. She's looking at this cup. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like there's a feminine in this who is feeling like they're giving more than they're receiving. But we're going to clarify, because usually I get more than one storyline, and so far this is the only storyline Spirit has brought me. So let's do some clarifying and see what this energy is. If it's not your story, remember, it's not a done deal. Go check out your moon sign, your rising, and your Venus. Spirit usually makes sure you get the message that you need. Quit. My kitty always likes to be fussing with my stuff when I'm doing readings. All right, Spirit, clarify the 2 of Swords. Why is it here? Why is this 2 of Swords here? Clear, concise messages for my Capricorn viewers. Clear, concise messages for my Capricorn viewers. All right, we've got 2 of Swords with the 10 of Cups and the Hanged Man. Again, Did I say Two of Swords? Ten of Cups. And the Hanged Man. So I feel like whoever is the feminine energy in this situation is gifted, is a little bit empathic, like can absolutely see the full potential of a person even when they don't meet that potential. And so in the past, this person stuck around, decided to stick around in hopes of having this Ten of Cups, because this person's able to see things from the other person's point of view. And so she, I'm going to use the pronoun she, you don't have to be a she, but the feminine sees this person's truest potential and took a risk, is what it feels like, took a risk. Although this is a waiting card, that's not the way I'm channeling it. I feel like this person is enlightened. They're an empath. I want to say empath. Like they can see people's trauma. They can see the reason why and make excuses for a person's behavior. Yeah, well, his dad raised him wrong, or his mom raised him wrong, or his ex-wife cheated on him, and so it feels like somebody in this situation has kind of made allowances for the other person and made a decision in the past to kind of stay in the relationship, decided to stay in the relationship, maybe set some boundaries. I don't know. With the Ace of Swords sometimes feels like, well, let's talk about it. You know, I need to see you help more around the house, or I need you to take my needs into consideration. I need you to put some work in. And so maybe there was some kind of a negotiation here with this Ace of Swords, but we're going to look. But I do feel like for the person that needs to hear this story, very kind, compassionate, giving, smart, intelligent, independent, capable, saw potential in their partner, and also saw like two timelines, like, you know, this could work out for us and we could be happy, or this could become too burdensome and my investment might be for nothing. And so they weighed their options and made a decision, and I think they chose to stay because this Ten of Cups was also a possibility that they had very high hopes for. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. Hold on, guys. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. Why is it here? Clear, concise messages. Yeah, I told you. They were hoping. The Star card is hoping. It's healing. It's faith. They were hoping to experience the Ten of Cups. They were hoping it was going to be, you know, they saw both potentials. And they took a gamble, is what it feels like. Tell me about the Lovers. Oh, hold on, guys. I don't know if that was a real message or just me being clumsy. I'm going to note that it's here, but if it wants to come out again, it will. But there might have been hope to make this better, that we could have made this better, maybe talked it out, move it forward. get out of an energy of conflict. Don't take that if it don't resonate, because it was a little sloppy the way it came out. Tell me about the Lovers. Why is the Lovers here? Clear, concise messages for Capricorn in the month of May with their person on their heart and mind. Why is the Lovers here? It's the Queen of Cups. Again, I feel like this person, the feminine, sees the potential. She's psychic. She feels the potential. She has hope. I think she made a decision. And the decision was to try. And after all that shuffling, and I put the Six of Swords in the middle of the deck and shuffled, and the Six of Swords is on the bottom of the deck. So that's clarifying that that card was meant to be read. So this Queen of Cups was trying to decide if she should stay or go. And I think she chose to stay because she had hopes that this was going to get better. If they talked it out, if she spoke about her needs, if she kind of was clear about what she needed. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Clear, concise messages about the Ace of Swords. Yeah. So I decided to wait. And I think to decide. She decided to wait to decide. Because she had hope of experiencing this Ten of Cups. I think this was, because she's holding the Two of Cups, I think this was a very near, close match. Like this Queen is looking at it like, well, you know, we both like this. We both like this. We're good at this. We share this in common. We have so much in common. And yet there was something else that was out of balance. And I'm noticing here in Temperance, this angel is combining the two cups. And here the star is dumping them out. I believe that the feminine in this storyline sees both potentials, is able of seeing this person's qualities and potential, and might have even fallen in love with that person's potential. But I'm not sure the other person has met the expectation or is putting in the work they should. And that's what's happening in the now moment, is this Queen of Cups is still waiting to make a decisive action on whether she should stay or go. And I think she's beginning to realize that she can't be the only glue that's holding this relationship together. This other person needs to step up, or I think she might step out. And I'm being told to look here. I think she's looking at, I think she's wanting to make a decision. She feels stuck. She's overthinking. She don't know what to do. And it's like, maybe she's had past relationships that didn't work out for her. Maybe she was hoping this was her Two of Cups and she's just feeling depleted and wants a new beginning, wants a little bit of excitement. Oh, and equal. Yeah, she wants this person to contribute, to rekindle, to light the fire, to get things moving toward this Ten of Cups again. And you know, people like this, and I'm not saying it's a narcissist empath situation, but I just want to tell you, empathic people have experienced a lot of pain, a lot of abandonment, a lot of abuse sometimes, a lot of failed relationships, not just romantic, but sometimes personal relationships with family or parents or siblings, friends. And so through those negative experiences, they become hyper aware, hypersensitive, quite capable of reading another person's energy, seeing the writing on the wall. But they do tend to become codependent because they want to be loved. They want the Ten of Cups. It's like, I want the perfect relationship. I want somebody who chooses me, somebody who loves me, somebody who's going to invest in me. And sometimes repeats patterns of attracting people into their lives that are a little bit more cold and less giving, more of a taker. And that's because they're such a huge giver. Of course, when you are a huge giver, there are going to be people who need what you're giving. And as an empath myself, sometimes they don't recognize that they're selfish. They're just so needy from their own bad experiences that they become like an empty void. You can throw love at them all day long and they just need more and need more and need more. And then you're in the dynamic that some people call narcissist empath dynamic. Doesn't mean the person's or a narcissist. I don't even like using that word unless I truly see that energy. But it just feels to me like the feminine in this situation is very hyper aware and sensitive to other people's needs and is a giver and gives many chances. Look, this, I tried again and again and again and again and again and again, and I give and I give and I give and I invest. And when do I get a payout on my investment? All right, tell me about the Ten of Cups in the now moment. And this is a healing card. This is a healing card. This feminine really had high hopes that this would heal, that this would get better, that talking about it, clearly expressing their needs and asking for their needs to be met was going to somehow change a dynamic, but it feels like it hasn't. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. Clear, concise messages for Capricorn. Yeah. See, instead of feeling the ultimate family life, the ultimate home life, the ultimate relationship, the happiest, this person feels alone in this relationship. They feel a little bit abandoned. And it could be a self-worth issue, which usually when you're an empath it is, because you always deserved love. You always deserved happiness. You always deserved people in your life that gave to you as much as you give to them, but you never had it. And so you spend your whole life looking for it, and because you're capable of seeing the potential in a person, you tend to get stuck in relationships. If this is you, the feminine tends to get stuck in relationships where their needs aren't met, where they see that they could have it and don't understand why they're not getting it. And so, when I was awakening on my journey and trying to learn about, healthy boundaries and putting myself first instead of last and everything, I was having a mini me moment and a meltdown. And I do channel, and I have a voice in my head, I believe it's my higher self, that guides me now. And I had to go through a lot of spiritual awakening moments to get to the point where my higher self was able to be heard and recognized. And so I'm sitting at my table at one point, feeling sorry for myself because I was needing help. And I reached out to pretty much all of my people, and every single one of them had something else planned or something better to do, or they were broke, or they just couldn't show up for me. And I was feeling sorry for myself. I'm like, listen, why am I always there for everybody? I will rearrange my schedule so that they don't have to be without. I will give them my last $10. I will, buy them clothing and food when they're down on their luck, give them rides, blah, 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 blah. But when I need something, I'm alone. I'm all alone. And all the people I thought were my people, all the people I've been building this happy outcome with, when push comes to shove, I suddenly realized that I'm not in a very happy place, but I'm actually the only one putting the work in, and I feel alone. I feel abandoned. I feel left behind. So the voice in my head, when I was having my mini-me moment, my little breakdown, I said, I give to everybody. I do for everybody. Why, when I need help, does it always come down to I have to do it myself? I have to take care of it myself. I got to figure it out, think it out. It's like I'm both the masculine and the feminine in my own friendships and family dynamics and work dynamics. And like, it's always been me. I've always had to go it alone, and I've always showed up and made it happen. Did it with, without, or in spite of anyone else. And that's why needy people find their way to you, because you're so capable. So tell me about the now moment with this 10 of Wands. Why is it here? Clear, concise messages for Capricorn with their person. Why is the 10 of Wands here? Yeah, healthy boundaries. There it is. Boundaried up, or trying to. This is somebody who is meeting the other person in their own energy. Finally. I'm hearing finally. All right, you want to be cold and decisive and calculating. You want to speak your truth and be harsh and cold. I'm going to put a boundary up. I'm going to stop being this Queen of Cups, even though deep down inside, this Queen of Swords always started out as the Queen of Cups. But she's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and the beer koozie. Anyhow, I need to go back. I'm so sorry. When I channel, I get very scattered. I wanted to finish my story about my meltdown. And I was asking my higher self, why? Why am I always alone? Why am I the only one who's willing to do the work? Why do I get stuck in these relationships where I can see the potential, but it never seems to blossom or reach the potential? And I said, I do this for the people I love because I love them. And this voice very clearly and very annoyingly said in my mind, are you really, hold on guys, there's a train. I'm getting this feeling there's a lot of distractions for this relationship. There's been a lot of distractions. There's been a lot of start overs, okay, I forgive you, let's try again. Please give me one more chance. I love you, I'll make it better. And one more chance. And because I feel like there's a lot of disruption in this reading, and my mind is a bit scattered. So you could be dealing with somebody who really does have high potential, but can't meet it because maybe they have ADHD. Maybe they're, they get distracted really easy and they don't think things through. They need to think things through. But I digress. Let's get back to the story. So the voice in my head, when I said, I do everything for everybody, for the people I love, I do everything because I love them. And this voice said, And I really did hear the Do you really do this because you love them? Actually, it said just because you love them, because that just expresses unconditional love. that there's no need for repayment. There's no need for an exchange of energy. You're doing it just out of love, right? So the voice said, are you really doing this just because you love them? Or are you doing this because you need them to love you? And that's what I'm getting in this reading. That this Queen of Cups was such a nurturer, such an empath, such a giver, and very, very independent, not because she wanted to be, because she always had to be, because when push came to shove in relationships, she always found herself alone. And so now, in the now moment, she's recognizing that she is tired of being the only glue that's holding this relationship together. And she's on the brink of making a new decision, a different decision. And she's laying down boundaries, which I think she did back here, but not in a definitive way. Back here, it was a new beginning. It was an ace. It's like, okay, we're going to try again, and we'll make it this time. This time she's looking at it like, I can't hold all this responsibility. I can't keep setting myself on fire to keep other people warm, because they also share this trauma bond of abandonment or neediness or not knowing their value, wanting to be chosen, wanting to be worthy. So now the feminine in this situation is looking to the future and really, really looking at her investments very carefully, looking at how much she's put into this and trying to decide if this person is really going to be able to step up and meet the expectations she has. And she's trying to decide whether or not she should continue investing, because there's still potential here. But in order to have this potential, she would absolutely have to hold the other person accountable with boundaries, and what she desires is renewal, passion, excitement. Maybe even, oh, wrong one. Maybe even this person just taking a wand or two or three from her to show that they're willing to invest and balance things out too. Or she's going to chuck the whole thing in the fuck it bucket. That's what she's thinking about. She's thinking about, well, I keep investing in this relationship and I want my Two of Cups. Because I looked under here and we've got the Two of Cups. She's really looking at this situation as, is this really my person? Can they really be an equal partner? Can their cup match mine? Because here, she was the Queen of Cups. She needed a King of Cups, but she never got it. She got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords didn't meet her where she was at. So now she's meeting this King of Swords where he's at. And she's about to bust a truth bomb, is what it feels like. But she still sees potential. But she is really feeling stuck and overwhelmed and sad in the current situation and alone. All right, tell me about the Seven of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Again, she needs more. She needs more. She needs her needs to be met. She needs something solid. She's looking at commitment. I think she's wondering if she should commit or continue to commit. She's looking at this pentacle, wondering if this seed is ever truly going to prosper and become a real solid manifestation. And what she's trying to manifest is the Ten of Cups. And so again, this is very nurturing, loving, giving energy. But it's also the Queen of Pentacles. She's capable. She turns base metal into gold. She's capable is the word I'm hearing. She's capable. And so she's looking at, you know, where's my King of Cups? She doesn't want to be the Queen of Swords. That's not her element. It's not where she feels happy. She is empathic and emotional. She probably is a water sign. Doesn't have to be. But she's looking at, she's looking at her value. She's looking at that pentacle and saying, I deserve my King of Cups. I know out there somewhere is my perfect match, and I'm beginning to realize that this person isn't meeting the potential that I saw in them. And I feel codependent. I feel tied and stuck and bound, and I might just leave. Whew, I'm getting a hot flash on this one, guys. All right, let's take a look at the future potential. It looks to me like she might just decide to well, let's just clarify. I don't want to get too far into it. All right, tell me about the future timeline, the future potential of this relationship. Queen of Pentacles, why is she here? And this could be the Capricorn. If you are the Capricorn, and I would say you probably have a lot of water in your chart somewhere. And your person probably air. Not a match made in heaven. Although the King and Queen are a perfect match, I don't think that's your natural element. I think your natural element is the Pentacles and Cups. I think you're a giver. Tell me about this pre-Empress energy. I love seeing the Empress on the bottom of the deck, because that means you are finally, really honestly seeing that you deserve more than you settle for. Tell me about the the Nine of Pentacles. Why is she here? Yeah. See, you're looking at going it alone. Ending this cycle. This is a lesson for the feminine in this situation. Energy, remember. I think the feminine in this energy, or the feminine energy in the story, has had many, 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 many trips around this cycle with many different relationships. And I feel like she is finally realizing that she don't really need a partner, but she wants one. And the lesson she's learning and getting ready to close out is the lesson of self-worth, realizing that, maybe she was a bit codependent. Maybe she was needing to be loved, needing to be chosen, needing to be worthy. But I think she started giving it to herself. There's a maturity level that's being reached here. And she's finally, I think, learning this lesson, closing out this cycle of of feeling like she has to be in a relationship, or she needs to be loved, or she needs to be the giver. And she's finally seeing, you know what? When push came to shove, I always had to do it alone anyways. So if I got to do it alone, why take on all the responsibility of trying to take care of another person that's not pulling their weight? And so she's looking to the future. She's like, when is my ship going to come in? You know, she wants that King of Cups, but she can't get the King of Cups from this King of Swords. And she's beginning to realize that. And so now she's looking at the future. And she's looking at ending this relationship. She knows that because she's so empathic and so loving and nurturing and giving, that it's going to be painful for her. It's going to be difficult for her to pull out of this and to choose herself. But she's really, really looking at it. Yeah, looking at leaving, moving on. And it's hard. It's a hard decision. It's a hard decision. 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. She's really grinding on it. Tell me about the King of Swords. Why is he here? King of Swords, clear, concise messages for Capricorn. Why is the King of Swords here? Clear, concise messages for Capricorn. Why is the King of Swords here? Clear, concise messages for Capricorn. There you go. This person is about to meet a new version of you. You now have matured. You know your value. You realize that everything you touch turns to gold. And you are giving away that precious gift to everybody you loved. But it was for the wrong reason. It wasn't because you loved them, unconditional love, which you do have, but you had your inner child, or subconsciously, you had an ulterior motive, and that ulterior motive was you needed to be needed, and you needed to be loved, and therefore you just gave way too much, because needy people find needy people. And even though you're very independent and intelligent and capable, you still are an energy match for needy people, because subconsciously you had a need that was never filled. And so you're still searching for the person that's going to fill that need. But what I love about this reading is the feminine in the storyline is leveling up. And she absolutely now, she went from the Queen of Cups to the Queen of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles to the Empress. Queen of Wands is the only thing she's missing, and that's confidence. And I think she already has plenty of that. She's already taken care of everything. She's leader qualities. She's always been confident. But the only place where she lacked confidence was in her value. She didn't see how truly special and valuable she really was. And she always felt left out. And so I love this reading for whoever it's for. This person here met this person here, and probably this person, and maybe in the beginning, even the Queen of Wands, confident, alluring, magnetic, gorgeous, yummy. But the underlying magnetism was neediness. I need to be dependable, reliable. I need to be needed. I want to help. I want to love. I want to give. And you did, until it pretty much burned you out, and you had to realize, and thank God this person and all the other people who came before it treated you the way they did, because the big life lesson here was to end a cycle, and you are there, you're at the world. You are completing, you're wrapping it up. And so in the now moment, you're trying to decide, but in the future potential, if you stay in this energy of learning this lesson, your future potential is that you are going to leave this person, or at least present them with the Empress. And you know what happens when you start raising your vibration and raising your value? The other person in the situation has to either match it or it falls apart. And that's why you had the Tower. It's still there after shuffling. Look at, that's where I was getting ready to shuffle. That was the cut. It's karmic. It's time to choose. And I think even if the feminine doesn't choose, which I think energetically she has, which is beautiful. In the future, I mean, she's like already there. She's like, I know my value. I'm not setting myself on fire anymore. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm not going to overgive. I'm going to hold on to my coin and invest it in me. And therefore, she's raising her vibration and her standards. And now the other partner has to raise their energy to match hers, because I don't think she's going to back down. You know, once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. And so my guess is that this King of Swords is going to have to step up, or he's going to leave her, or she will leave him, or the universe will step in and create a Tower moment, because there's not a matched energy here. The foundation is no longer built on a common vibration. Tell me about this King of Swords. What will he do? Well, he's going to see the truth. It's going to end. Maybe. Yeah. The cycle will end. Whether or not the relationship ends, I'm not going to predict for you, because I think, and I'm saying you, it could be a cross watcher. Like, again, put yourself where you belong. If you're this King of Swords, you're going to clearly see, this is clarity. This is clarity. What you couldn't see with the Ace of Swords, you're going to see with the Sun. And see, in the Ten of Swords, the sun is always rising on the other side. It's the dawn of a new day. It's the end of a cycle. I think what's going to end up happening is this is the end of a cycle. And look at, there's the Emperor. So Spirit is clearly saying there is potential for this King of Swords to level up and meet her where she's at the Empress level. But in order to do so, he's going to have to learn the spiritual lesson. And he's going to have to meet her in this Ace of Wands. He's going to have to choose to light it up again, to really be inspired to end this cycle. To end the cycle. See? King of Swords becomes the Emperor. And things get balanced out. There's an apology. No. See, this is not decided yet. This is just pure potential. This person does have the qualities it takes to become the Emperor. This person could absolutely learn their lesson because she did, and because she's holding him to a standard. He has the potential of being, and that's what she saw. From the very beginning, she saw the potential for this person to absolutely meet her. But she wasn't there. She thought she was there, but she wasn't there. Now she's going to get there, and this person's going to have to step it up. And there's really high potential here that this person can. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. There's the Queen of Wands, wanting to be seen. Tell me, yeah, it's like you're not codependent anymore. You're independent. You're, you know, there's the queen that was missing. We needed all 4 queens to get to the Empress, and you're finally there. You're finally confident. You know your value. You know that you're yummy. You know that you're a catch. And this person is beginning to see it. And they're beginning to realize that you really do make them happy. Look at the sunflowers. She's holding the sunflower. This king is seeing that if he wants to be happy, she's the key. She's the ticket. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. That wanted to be seen. I'm not taking it in reverse. This is undecided. This is going to culminate, and it's going to either end or it's going to transform. And with the moon card, Spirit's saying, with the sun and the moon, Spirit's saying, this person has to face their fears and they have to learn their lesson. And the Queen of Cups has not decided. She's dealing a new energy. Instead of talking, giving second chances, saying, okay, I'll do it if you do this, that, and the other. It's, you know, she's been clearly communicating. Now she's going to hold a frequency because she has up-leveled, and she's going to hold that frequency not because she wants to, but because she has to. She's seen the writing on the wall. She's realized what she's been doing wrong this whole time, and now she just knows that she deserves better. And what she doesn't know is whether or not this person is going to contribute and work with her to make this happen. You know, are we going to see it through, or are we going to end it? End it. So that's where you're going to be in the month of May. This is not over. This is still a process. And I think if you resonate with being the feminine in this, I think you've been realizing for a while now, realizing that you tend to show up in relationships in a very imbalanced way. You tend to love and overlove and give and set yourself on fire. And I do believe with Venus moving out of Pisces, I mean, Pisces is about the illusion. It's about the dream. It's about the hopes. It's about, you know, it's illusory. It's the illusion. It's the hopes. It's the, I don't know, but this is what I dream about. And so she's been holding this 10 of Cups dream, waiting for her King of Cups, and never got him. And this is teaching her a very strong karmic lesson about her value. And she's beginning to see it. She's beginning to see it. And so unless she gets a very big blow and loses her confidence and falls back into old patterns, she's almost there. And because she's almost there, he has to be almost there, or he will just drop away. There will be divine intervention, because now the core wound, even though the core wound is shared, the vibrational frequency of the person who has been doing the work and doing the healing is now higher than the person who chose not to. And so they're going to have to step up their game. So I'm going to use another deck now. We're going to take a look at, and I just want you to know, in the month of May, you're not going to, this isn't going to end. It's going to be a process that you're still working through in the month of May. By end of May or beyond is when this potential outcome really starts to the frequency starts to change, and that creates change. Like it or not, it creates change. You were once vibrationally a match. You were both needy. You both needed to be loved. But one person was a taker and one person was a giver. And in those situations, they repeat over and over again. Different, maybe a different person, different face, same lesson. Until one person finally recognizes the trauma is the problem and starts to do the inner work and becomes higher vibrational and levels up. It's an awakening. And then the other person has to match the frequency. They have to. They don't have a choice. They match it or they just fall away. And the Ten of Swords happens, which closes out a cycle. But once this feminine learns her value and truly sits in that knowing that I deserve true love. I deserve somebody who embodies all the kings, somebody who's smart, who's compassionate and loving and giving, somebody who's financially and they're secure in their life. They know their value. They've created stability. Somebody who, you know, can speak honestly with integrity. This feminine is beginning to hold a higher standard. And when she does that, she might end up alone, but not for long. Because remember, frequency attracts the same frequency. And if you're no longer needy or codependent and you know your value and your worth, you might end up alone, Nine of Pentacles, working alone, you know, doing everything yourself for yourself because you love yourself. And there's no way of telling how long that could last if this person don't step up. But it'll last until you meet your perfect divine partner, the one that is in the frequency of divine masculine energy, not distorted masculine. Because once you become the Empress, you don't get to go back. I mean, you might take another trip around that lesson when it's new, but all it's going to do is reaffirm over and over and over again that you were right. That you were right. You really are deserving of something better. And now your standards are going to raise and you're going to be like, I'm done repeating these cycles with the wrong people. I want the right person. I want my Two of Cups. I want my lovers. I want my divine counterpart. Somebody who's going to meet me where I'm at. All right. So I'm going to take a look at this person's thoughts. So this is for my viewer, whether you're a cross watcher or Capricorn, it don't matter. I'm asking Spirit to tell me about my viewer's person. What are they thinking about my viewer? What are they feeling about my viewer? What are their intentions toward my viewer? And what is the most likely course of action they will take toward my viewer? And I am using the Twin Flame Journey Tarot by Mystic Moon Oracles. If you haven't heard of her, she has a YouTube channel. She used to really resonate with me, but not so much anymore. I think I'm beyond that cycle. But she's great. And depending on where you are on your journey, check her out. I use this deck. If you're on a Twin Flame journey, then you know. By this point, you know. If you're not, then that's okay. It doesn't matter whether this is a karmic partner or a divine partner, because really it matters whether they are or aren't is going to be decided by whether or not they can meet your frequency. So the reason I'm using this deck is because I love the way the energy reads in relationships. There's that Ten of Wands wanting to be seen again. Heavy burdens, like a moth drawn to the flame. You know, empaths are drawn to broken people because they're broken. Hurt people attract hurt people. Healed people attract healed people. All right, Spirit, for my viewer, what is their person's thoughts, feelings, intentions, and most likely action toward my viewer? Their thoughts, King of Cups. There you go. There you go. Ooh. Ooh, King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. All right. Tell me about their feelings. The Sun. Growth. I like that. Tell me about their intentions. Cycle completion. And most likely action. Message of love. I like it. All right. So this King of Swords is wanting to be your King of Cups, or my viewers' King of Cups. But they do need to master their emotions. It's the one thing that you need as the viewer, because I'm reading for the viewer. It's what you need that this other person never brought. And this person's beginning to realize it, for better or worse. I think you're teaching this person a lesson. They know that you make them happy. My heart is full. You are the sunshine. You are the sunflower, right? I saw that. You hold the sunflower, and the sunflower is what they want. They don't want to lose you. But they're going to have to break a very, very large cycle. They're going to have to do a lot of healing, emotional mastery, in order to renew this. But I see that they're wanting to. They're going to try, but it's a page. It's a page. It's not a king. It's a page. Let's clarify. I'm going to use this deck. This is the Osho Zen Tarot. And it reads both ways as a tarot and an oracle. And the meanings are very different than the standard Rider-Waite tarot. This has been a very long reading. Holy crap. I can't do 4 readings today at this rate. All right. Clarify the King of Cups for his thoughts. Comparison. Oh. Ooh. I need one more on that. Oh, this person. So the reason why there's so much conflict and arguing with this person is because they don't feel worthy. They're not sure if they can be this King of Cups. The reason why they fight with you is because they don't like to look at their emotions. They don't like to feel their emotions. They're comparing themselves to other men, is what it feels like. Other men are strong like the mighty oak, you know. But the King of Cups is flexible like the reed. And so this person feels weak when they bend. There is fighting here. Tell me about this, the way the King of Cups is thinking. Guilty. Yes, because they want to apologize. See, I'm an empath. I feel for this person. I feel for this person because they really, deep down inside, want to be this King of Cups, but every time they've ever been vulnerable, they've been hurt. And so now they have a hard time being vulnerable. They're King of Swords. I'm smart. I'm logical. I don't make stupid mistakes like I used to. I don't let my heart dictate my decisions. What are they feeling guilty for? Oh, a lot. 3 of Swords. Transformation. Knight of Pentacles. See, this person's they've been heading toward this change for a long time. Maybe not just in your relationship. But they have to heal this 3 of Swords. They have to look at it. They have to feel it. They have to grieve it. They have to grieve and allow themselves to be emotional, but I don't think they've been able to. Instead, they opt to be logical and reliable and really slow. And so they feel guilty because it's taken them a very long time to transform, to change. I think they want to with the Knight of Pentacles. I want to be your person. I want to be reliable, but I'm not good at showing my feelings. I'm better at being cold and logical and maybe a little bossy. Tell me about the Sun in their heart, how they feel for you. So they really do feel the King of Cups, but they would rather chew their tongue off than admit it because of this past experience where they were hurt people, and that's why they feel guilty, because they hurt people because they've been hurt. And they would really like to be different, but making the change has been very, very slow going and hard. Tell me about the Sun in their heart space. 9 of Cups. You are my sunshine. You are what I want. You make me happy. But they're lazy. Again, they're not putting the work in. They're like sitting there drinking a Mai Tai in their slippers and living the high life while you have been carrying the load. You've been taking care of business. You've been holding everything together. And Spirit's been pushing this person. And they've been dragging their feet. They're sitting on their laurels. And Spirit's like, listen, if you want this 9 of Cups, if you want this happiness, you're going to have to get up and do something. Burden. The burden is you have to make this better. 6 of Swords. You have to get up and move this toward a better place. This is your responsibility. Your burden now. Your pride is your burden. It's what's been holding you back. And it's become very, very difficult. And there is the Empress. It's like, my burden is, I want all this yumminess, but it's hard work. And I don't know if I want to get up and put the work in. Because every time I put the work in the past, I got my heart broke. Every time I was vulnerable, somebody else came along that was better and I got my heart broke. And that changed me. Tell me about this World card for his intentions. 10 of Swords. Again, God, how many decks have we gotten this pairing? 10 of Swords with the World. You know, this is going to end. Their intentions are, they want rebirth. They want to start over. But they know they're going to have to face a lot of pain. They know that if they don't get up and start moving to create this wish come true, to become this King of Cups, to be happy, to rebirth themselves and transform, they're going to experience an ending, and they feel it. They absolutely feel it. And their intention is that I want to end this cycle too, this painful merry-go-round that we go around and around and around, and we yell and we fight, and I say things I don't mean, and you say things you don't mean, or whatever. It has to change. It has to change. We have to end this. And I have to show up different. Master, the master. We have to master this if I want a new beginning. I got to put in the work, participate, mature, guided, totality. Look, Ace of Cups, going with the flow toward the Lovers. Finally understanding and integrating. Ooh, a past life lesson. This has been a past life connection. This is a karmic connection. You guys chose to meet each other in this lifetime to teach each other how to become better versions, how to break a cycle, maybe even a family ancestral cycle. Yeah, ancestral. Maybe passed down from the mother. I think this person might just do it, but I can't say for certain because with the moon as the indicator card, it tells me that it hasn't, the frequency and vibration, the wheel is turning toward it. But it's not there yet. And there's more experiences to have, more karmic lessons to learn with this person to get to this future potential. But it's where you're headed. It's where you're headed. So I'm going to get you messages from your person. So this spirit, my intentions are to get messages from my viewer's person for my viewer. What would they like to say to my viewer? This has been a long channeling. I got a lot of videos to make today. Ooh, you make me want to do bad things and I want you. So this is the devil and I want you. 8 of Pentacles maybe, wanting to put the work in. If I asked you to stay, would you leave? See, this person can feel you leaving. They can feel it happening. I would do anything for you. Please give me time. I've never felt this way before. And I'm sorry. I just want you all the time. What do I have to say? I worry about us a lot and maybe. See, that's that. Yeah. It's not written in stone yet. Bottom of the deck, I'm ready. It's like, maybe I'm ready. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I think this person sees you as the one person they might be ready to do it for. You're different. You make them feel a way they've never felt before. And you make them look at their devil. What would my viewer's person like to say to my viewer? My life is not as together as it seems, and I know I was a distraction from your pain. Only take that if it resonates, because I don't know that that resonates with me. See, they're sticking together, so maybe, because this one resonates, this one didn't. I want to feel that way again. I'm starting to understand our connection. I want to be more than friends, and the timing just wasn't right for us. I think this is past life. I think this is not your first time with this person trying to integrate this lesson. These came out, but I'm going to put them back in if they're meant to come out, because they kind of come out sloppy. I think that this queen might pull the friend card, or has pulled the friend card. Maybe in in these moments of breaking up or arguing, she says, listen, you know, I love you. You know, we can be friends, but we're just not a good match. We're not a good fit. My needs aren't being met. I've given you plenty of chances, you know. Maybe she's tried to move this into the friend zone, but because she's codependent, she keeps going back, repeating that cycle. You speak to me through music. That is one of the cards that fell out before that I said was sloppy. There could be a musical connection, or just maybe songs remind them of your situation. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you, and I wish I had treated you better. So I think a lot of you have had breakups with this person. I think that you've made up and broke up and made up and broke up, and I think that, you know, it's a cycle that needs to be broken. So I'm going to get you advice now. Advice for my viewer. What cards do I want to use for advice? And then we'll get a timing card. And remember, time is an illusion. Advice for my viewer about their person. All right. Morning rituals. In the morning, I will take time to tune into myself, to set a high vibration ritual that will help me lead a good day. I pay attention to the morning habits that don't serve me and change them for ones that I do. So again, this is about raising your frequency, raising your vibration, positive affirmations. Everything that I deserve is on its way to me. You know, everything that's mine is already mine. It's on its way. Or things like, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are deserving, you can do this. Look at Abraham Hicks's morning affirmation rants. That could be helpful. We have recharge. I invite magic into my life always. Every day I grow my connection to this earth. If I am ever feeling low, I simply step outside and appreciate the natural miracles in this life. Being in nature lifts my spirits, recharges my energy. Again, this is high vibration. High vibration. All right? It's not thinking about the woe is me, nobody loves me, nobody shows up for me, it's never going to work, why do I keep doing this? No, you get up and you say, I am beautiful, I am confident, everything I do well. I am a real catch, and why, you know, don't I believe it? It's time for me to start stepping into that. And this is about inviting the magic into your life. It's about connecting to the earth and to, you know, it's getting out of that Pisces energy. It's grounding yourself. It's seeing the truth in that magic is everywhere, and you can have everything that you want. It's already here. It's already created. You just need to see it, recognize it, honor it. And then we have dance it out. Yeah, this is all about, you have to raise your frequency and your vibration and release anger. So I can move emotions through my body by dancing whenever I start to feel a buildup of this crankiness, releasing anger. I will play some music and move intuitively. I don't have to look a certain way. Simply move and feel as the stress of heaviness begins to ease out of my body. And then we have anger, because I do think you have to forgive the past. You have to get beyond being angry that nobody shows up for you. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who's caused me pain and see them as the human being they are. I release the anger I feel and free myself, freeing myself and expanding to love. All right, I think this person brings the worst out in you at times, because you are on this journey of awareness. So this has been your reading. Actually, no, I forgot the timing card. I do want to give a disclaimer. I don't believe that timing cards can be really solid, because time is fluid. Time doesn't really exist. It's an experience. And so take it as it resonates. But Spirit may actually bring you a hit on what the timing could be. We have very soon. Things are happening fast, so be ready to move. Speed, agility, and quickness. Bottom of the deck is Virgo time, August 23rd to September 22nd. Set realistic goals to reach, practical, organized, and detailed. By the way, Virgo is part of, is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the divine feminine Empress energy. So I love you guys. I hope this resonated. This is a big lesson. I've been working on this lesson myself. So I get it. And that's why your channeling was so damn long. Because there's a message for me in it as well. So I will see you next month. We'll see where you're at on this journey. Okay? Namaste.